Whatty Nerdigans? This is the one and only Packer Girl 89, and today's Anime Nerdigan live reaction video is going to be for Nanatsu no Taizai, Revival of the Ten Commandments, aka Season 2, Episode 4. So, the beginning of this episode starts off with the adaptation of Chapter 119. So, without further ado, let's get to it. Okay, so I have a little bit of an animation problem here. So when Hendrickson is climbing up the rocks, you don't see like some of the you don't see the veins in the arm bulging, and I'm talking about his left arm. And there, let me just double check and make sure I'm right. And there's like no sweat. What the fuck? I swear, this one, Taizai, what the shit? Barmy Yukoso had a sweat problem, but God, I didn't realize you were going to have a sweat problem. The scratches and everything are there, but there's no sweat, and the veins in Hendrickson's hand and his arm are not there. It's like where the vein is in his arm is like right at the elbow, so that's really, really bugging me. When we flash back to Dreyfus, I really like that purple background because it looks really cool. It's like you have this evil aura going on. Nice stuff. That was a nice little touch, anime. Oh, that transition with the big purple flame. Oh, that was nice. I will say this. This was a nice spot, like right before before we go into Dreyfus's lines on page 5. This was a nice spot to put the opening song / you know, the little bit of opening, this is a tale of humans and beings from other worlds. That was a nice spot to go with. So I'm curious if we're gonna jump back a little to the fight that's going on in the Fairy King's Forest, or if we're gonna just keep rolling with Chapter 119's adaptation, which I really kind of hope we are. So let's see what's gonna happen next. Something I'm noticing, and this is as I'm watching the opening song, I don't think I've mentioned this before, but it's relevant to what we saw so far in this episode, is that this anime really knows how to do evil auras. Like, I fucking believe it. It looks so nice, and I hope it stays that way consistently, especially when we get to the Escanor versus Esterosa fight. Oh my god! Oh, I can't wait for that fight! Oh, I want that fight to happen soon, but it's gonna be a while. I just want to get to Escanor really bad. Like, this opening makes me want to see Escanor so bad. So this episode is titled The Ten Commandments on the Move, which is actually the same title as Chapter 119. So I'm hoping we're going to keep up the adaptation of Chapter 119 and then jump back to where we left off in the Fairy King's Forest. That's what I'm hoping anyway. So let's get to this. No, I was wrong! So we're jumping back to Chapter 117 first. I'm really surprised. I'm honestly surprised. I thought we were gonna like straight up adapt like more of Chapter 119 before jumping back, but I'm kind of like torn because like I want more 119. But we need to definitely finish Chapter 117 first and get, and I think 118 as well, to destroy the golem. So I'm kind of fine with it because that was the line in Chapter 119 that Dreyfus says. So yeah, so I'm kind of okay with it, but at the same time I'm like, ugh. I'm kind of mad at the same time. But anyway, let's get to Chapter 117's adaptation. Oh, I gotta talk about that sunflower there. Oh my god, it looks so beautiful. I love the aura coming off of it, and that aura for the sunflower is the aura I want to see from Escanor when he fights Esterosa. That's the aura I'm talking about. Yes, it is, fairies! It is my boy, Harlequin. He is doing this shit. Oh, that attack from the flower! Oh, the first thing I thought of was Solar Beam. Yes! Harlequin used motherfucking Solar Beam, and it looks badass as hell. And yes, I know that is an Albion, but God, it just, to me, it looks like a golem. this too, I haven't mentioned it yet, is the soundtrack for right here. This gloomy organ going on here is just so beautiful. Oh my god, it's very sad, but it's really, really beautiful. It fits this scene perfectly. It's not like the badass guitar we got last week, but it really works for this scene because we're feeling doomed. So yeah. Ooh, and then when King's getting up, we have this beautiful violin going, and it's just, God, the soundtrack is really good this week. You know what? They put an extra scratch on King's forehead. It's like on the, on the left side. And you know what? I don't mind it at all. I like that King looks really bloody and beat up, which he should. In the face, I mean. It works. Let's see. Ooh, I want to say it's a viola and a violin playing. And yeah, it sounds like a viola. But God, like them playing, it's just really beautiful, the contrast that's going on. Like you have the melody, and then you have the counter melody that's going on between the violin and the viola, and it's just, woo, it is beautiful. And yes, I know Elaine still censored because she's wearing clothes when she's not supposed to be, but like it's really got me thinking since I've been reading the manga for all the manga that's going to be adapted into anime for spring 2018, and my God, this is nothing compared to the censors we're gonna get. Oh my God, I'm telling you, go on LiveChart and go read a lot of the manga that's being adapted to anime. Oh my God, it is dark as hell, and it is disturbing, and yeah, there's gonna be a lot of censorship. This is gonna be the year of censorship. I'm sorry, I think it's a viola, and now I'm really listening to it, it sounds a little bit more like a cello, but I could be wrong. But God, like this orchestral music that we have right here is so perfect. And like the thing is why I really think the orchestral music is a lot more appropriate compared to like the rock music we got last week is because if you think about it, the fairy forest, to me, it sounds like it needs the orchestral music in the fairy forest compared to like when we get to fighting the demon clan themselves. Oh, you bet there's going to be some rock music going on, especially with Escanor versus Estarossa. I know I keep bringing that up. I can't wait for that fight. But here, it's the orchestral music is very appropriate because when you think of fairies, or at least when I think of fairies, like I think of Baroque, I think of the Renaissance era orchestral music. So that's why, again, this kind of music the orchestral music is extremely appropriate. I gotta say, Gerard's attacks look freaking fantastic. Like this is why that's why I'm glad I did not give up on this anime after episode 2, because this is why I was really hyped up for Nanatsu no Taizai anime, is because of the action scenes we're getting. It's just really beautiful. Oh, the rock music here. Ooh, this is bad as fuck. God, this soundtrack is really, really good. Oh my God, something I hope with this anime is that like the music, similar to like March Comes In Like a Lion, I hope there's a lot of variation in the soundtrack like we're getting right now. It's really fantastic. So at about like the 9-minute, like 30-second mark, we finished up chapter 117's adaptation, and I gotta tell you, it was goddamn perfect. There, minus the censorship, of course, but other than that, it is perfect. I found like nothing wrong with this episode, and I hope this is we're gonna continue like this. I'm really glad I did not drop this series on episode 2. God, like the past couple of weeks, we have been like really, really spot on. So anyway, without further ado, let's get to chapter 118's adaptation of the manga. So here we go. that 10-minute, 17-second mark. If you look at page 5 of chapter 119 and look at the 10-minute, 17-second mark, it matches perfectly, and it is beautiful. Anime, you are really stepping up your game this week. I thought you were stepping up your game last week, but damn, you are really stepping up this week, too. Okay, now we got a little bit of a problem, Anime. What happened to the other spot that you had earlier where it was all bloody on Harley Quinn's forehead? What happened to that? But this is how it is in the manga, too, where only like one part of Harley Quinn's forehead is bloody, and then it's like under his eye and then his mouth, and I feel like they didn't push it enough. They didn't do enough blood. That's just my opinion, I guess. Let's see. Oh, when that brass comes in, and this is like right after the break, that brass is just so fucking amazing. Yes, I am a huge music nerd. For those that don't know, I played clarinet for over, for over 10 years, like close to 20 years. I played clarinet, and I played in like orchestra. I played in an orchestra. I played in several bands and wind ensembles, and even marching band too. So various genres of, of bands. I didn't do jazz band though. But the thing is that I'm a huge orchestra nerd. I'm a huge music nerd. Let's go with that. So, like, when I hear, like, fanfares like this with the brass, it just sounds so fucking cool. I love it. Guardian looks so fucking cool. Oh, my God. Yep, there is not enough blood. Harley Quinn's face is not bloodied enough. Because, like, if you look in the manga, there's, like, there's blood gushing under his eye. You have the blood gushing in the forehead. And, you have, like, blood, like, just coming out, like, the blood dripping from the eye, and you have the blood dripping, like, on the chin. So, I don't know why we're not getting that much blood. It's really bugging the hell out of me. And, like, oh, yeah, and the blood's supposed to be all, at this point, this is on page 7, the blood's supposed to be all over, King's, about, like, at his hairline. So, yeah, this is not bloodied enough for me. But I will say that that shot of Diane at the 11-minute 5-second mark is really nice. I like the background. It's beautiful. You know what? I don't have a problem with Diane being right side up, but in the manga, she's upside down when King says, Diane, I want to see you again. But at least there's a little bit more blood, but it's not enough blood. I just don't understand. Are we just censoring blood now? What are we, 4 Kids Japan? Seriously, come on. Not the tree! No! But I gotta say, seeing it animated was really, really cool. Oh my God. But no, not the tree! Oh, that music when we get to when King sees Ba and Elaine, we get the violins going, and then we have this beautiful piano coming in. Oh, I know I'm being a huge music nerd right now, but I can't help it. It's just beautiful. The fairies finally recognized Harley Quinn as their true king, but no! No! Don't die, fairies! There's more blood coming out of the fairies than there was from Harley Quinn. What the fuck, anime? When Helbram shows up, this contrast that we have, like where it's like, King is in his own little world with Helbram. It is just, ooh, that was a really, really nice touch, anime. I like that. No, anime, why? Oh, you were doing so well. Okay, so problem with Helbram's outfit here is that flower that's on, like right here on the collar, the center of it is not big enough. It's way too small, and the petals are in the wrong spot. Or I should say, well, no, some of them are in the right spot, but what it's supposed to be is it's supposed to go from smaller petal to like biggest, like in the center, and then back to smallest. And Helbram, it looks like Helbram's wearing eyeliner. No! No! The face is so wrong. He has the smirk and everything. But I don't know why it looks so wrong. here. Like, the sweet face is here, but, like, because of that eyeliner, what looks like eyeliner under his eyes are supposed to be a little bit more squinty. And, like, he's supposed to look like he has a smug-ass attitude on his face. But Jesus Christ, anime, you did not do Hellbrim justice here. I really don't like it. Okay, here's the thing, is that the eyes, like, the bottom part of the eye is fine, where it's, like, really dark. But it's supposed to be on the top of the eye as well. It's supposed to be on that eyelid as well. So, why did you half-ass this? It's really annoying me. Oh, Hellbrim, that smile. That smile is killing me. I love Hellbrim so much. Just seeing him do that sweet smile is just tearing me up. And then you see the tear coming out of King's eye. It's like, no. It's breaking my heart. Oh, when King is about to release the power from the spear. Oh my God, that piano is just beautiful. Oh my God. This is like about the 14-minute, I would say 35-second mark. It's just, it's heaven. I don't understand. Why is there like this lack of blood here? There's like supposed to be more blood gushing from King's face, and I feel like the anime is censoring it for some reason, and I just don't understand. King is going Super Saiyan, guys! He's going Super Saiyan right now! Oh my God! Oh! That true spirit, Spiritasteful. Oh! It is beautiful! Oh my God! Does it look like the manga? It really actually looks pretty close. Hold on a second. Let me just double check and make sure here. No, because the spear is wrong. No, it looks so cool, but it's wrong. Damn it, anime. Oh, it looks, because like in the manga, the spear, the true spirit spear, looks so much more like a sword than anything. It does not look, it looks more like just a blade. It doesn't look right. And just the markings aren't there. A lot of the markings are missing, and anime, oh my God, you missed a good opportunity to utilize your animation, but geez. The aura is cool, not gonna lie, the aura is cool, but the spear does not look right. It looks completely wrong. And King is still not bloodied enough. Damn it! So with that, we finished chapter 118's adaptation at about like the 16-minute, 14-second mark. And we're back where we left off in chapter 119, which is page 5. And damn, where they're at looks so beautiful. Like, I really love the color and everything. Oh, it looks really, really nice. And I like the sinister music we're getting, too. So the rest of the scene with the 10 Commandments was goddamn perfect. Got no complaints. So let's get to the content with Arthur, which starts at the 17-minute, 45-second mark. And also the music for the scene with the commandments was just badass as fuck. And we even got the perverted scene where all 5 Meliodases are looking up Elizabeth's skirt and groping her. The facial expression is just so perfect. Oh my God, this episode is so good. I love that everyone went to go beat up Meliodas. Poor Meliodas! Your perverted ways get you into trouble every time. I loved it. Oh, this is so perfect at the 19-minute, like, starting at the 38-second mark, when, you know, Hawk is reading the power levels. I really love the color scheme for that. It's really cool. And I love the, when we're looking at the readings, there's like, it looks like there's fire on it. It looks badass as hell. But God, all the lumps on Meliodas' head just are so amazing. And the facial expression is just so perfect. I love it. At 420, you know what that means, Vape Nation. Merlin's explanation, the visual. Perfect, perfect, perfect. And I love the color background for it too. It's really nice. This part was skipped in the explanation. If the user is a physical strain type, for example, Diane, the clones created are only good for using weakened moves. However, that's not the case with Sir Captain. And I think I understand why that portion was skipped. It has to do with time, because we're already at like the 20-minute, 9-second mark. So I completely understand why that portion was skipped. This part was skipped here. So sacred treasures aren't, hold on, let me just make sure. Hold on, let me make sure that this part from Hawk was here. Yeah, this part from Hawk was skipped, which was, so sacred treasures aren't just powerful weapons then. It was skipped. So is this part here. So Diane, what kind of power does your sacred treasure have? Let's see, mine can, this was skipped. Maybe this will be in the recap next week. I'm hoping it will be, but just in case it's not, I'm going to read it. This part was skipped here. What's with the sour face, Merlin? Well, something about the king's prophecy isn't making sense to me. Let's see. A beast with the likeness of a mountain shall wake. 3 heroes shall stand up against it, and darkness shall bore a great hole in the land. At first, I thought the beast with the likeness of a mountain referred to the Albion, but then the other parts of the prophecy don't make any, and that's when this attack is supposed to happen here, with the thunder attack. So the only thing I can hope for next week is that we get the prophecy. I hope it's there, because I kind of think that's a little bit important. But we'll see. Galen's here! Oh my god! Galen looks so fucking cool. I gotta give props to the anime for doing that. Damn, Galen looks awesome. It's over 9,000, first of all. But God, I love the ending of this episode where you have Galen's, like, one of Galen's eyes turns green. Oh, that was so fucking awesome. Oh my God. I'm really hyped for next week's episode, because the fight with Galen, I can't believe it's here. But the only problem I had with this episode, I would say there's a little bit of animation problems, with King's face in particular. And also the fucking spirit, it looks wrong, and oh God, that really was a huge disappointment. That looked so wrong. It was not the same spear we saw in the manga. Because to me, as I said earlier, that looked more like a blade than it did like a sword, like a short blade. I mean, than the long sword that we saw in the manga. But like other than that, and not having the prophecy, like Merlin talk about that, which I think we'll get that in the recap next week. That's just my gut feeling about that. Besides that, like, this episode was really, really good. I'm really hyped for the fight, for all the fight scenes, because what we've seen so far in the fight scene wise looks freaking fantastic. Oh my God. So next week we're going to start off with chapter 120. I really hope that the anime keeps up this pacing. This pacing is really, really nice. It doesn't feel rushed like it did a couple weeks ago. And I'm very curious what you guys think of this episode. I really enjoyed it. I'm curious if you guys like the pacing as well. I like that we're getting about like 2 to 3 chapters a week. That's what I was hoping for. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below, and remember to like, comment, share, and subscribe to Nerdigans Inc. if you love what I'm doing and want to contribute to my channel expansion. There's a few ways you could do that, or also my struggle. You can donate to my GoFundMe, PayPal, Patreon, purchase something off my Amazon wish list. All that's in the description box below. Also, make sure you follow me on Twitter, Facebook, Twitch, and friend me on PlayStation Network. That's in the description box below as well. And until next time, Nerdigans, I'll be seeing you later.